On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
now. It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
This episode of Pimp My Setup is sponsored by Works' new switch driver 2-in-1 20-volt drill plus driver. There is currently nothing like this on the market. The patented rotating dual chucks let you switch quickly from drilling to driving, which helps you get projects done much faster. It comes with two 20-volt lithium batteries that work with other Works tools, which you can see at works.com. The switch driver is only $99, which is a great deal considering it comes with two batteries, a 3-year warranty, and even a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks to Works for sponsoring this episode. This episode of Pimp My Setup is sponsored by Craft Beard. Craft Beard is a creative beer art company based out of San Diego. What is beer art, you might say? Think cool art inspired by the craft beer culture available on apparel, glassware, artwork, hats, bottle openers, and more. This design, Double Tap, is the perfect combination of enjoying craft beer and fragging your next victim. Double Tap is available in a super soft gamer green tee and a poster for your game room, man cave, lady lounge, or wherever you want. Check out all the cool beer art at craftbeer.com. We thank them for their support of the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pimp My Setup episode number 81, recorded live on March 10th, 2016. My name's Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly.
I'm Jayztwocents, not to be confused with Jay-Z. A lot of people get that one wrong. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all your favorite social medias, and we talk about PC stuff, which kind of goes really well with what we're talking about here. You need something to put your PC on, and that's what Matt is all about.
Yeah, boom. So there you go. Go check them out. Guys, I want to say thank you. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers. That's crazy. I'm now partnered on Twitch. So if you prefer to watch live on Twitch, you can do so because we're live there as well. And if you want to submit your setup, don't forget pimpmysetup.com/Q. I've been going through. If you get on the show, I will email you. We are booked up until episode 103, 104, around there now. So definitely you want to get it in now and at least claim your spot. You could always put in resubmissions down the road. But there we go. Let's get into the first setup of the day submitted by Simon. Simon, let's see. Simon says, yes. He's from Denmark. He's a test engineer at a software company. He mainly uses his setup for music listening, a little bit of gaming, and he just wants to know how to make it better. So before we get into this, how old do you think Simon is?
Oh, man. See, I saw this setup and I immediately thought, well-established adult. I'm thinking late 20s, early 30s.
He is 18, and that's why it's crazy.
He's already ahead of the curve then.
Yeah. I mean, this setup is definitely beautiful, but what do you think about it? What do you like and what do you not like?
IKEA is strong in this setup.
Yeah.
I felt like I had a European vibe to it, so I guess that makes sense. I really like the wood ceiling and stuff. I don't know how much of this room he customized to make it look like that or how much he just utilized what was already there. I'm not personally digging the mix of white and black furniture, though, unless he was going to kind of carry that theme throughout.
Yeah.
I think that was probably one of my only gripes. We'll talk about that when we get there. But I think his usability of space looks really good. I just wish we had seen the other half of the room.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because you could see he's got the nice entertainment setup kind of to the right, but you don't know if he's got his bed in there, if this is an office or what's going on. I do like that he has that nice canvas above. It just kind of fills empty space. It's too often that we see empty blank walls. And
I wish he had centered that on the monitors, but my guess is that those drawers he used as a stand might have been added later, which made that gap wrong.
Yeah.
But I would maybe move that picture up a little bit though.
Yeah, and
what is that? It's a bridge in New York, right? The Brooklyn Bridge or something like that?
Let's. I'm gonna assume that's it. I'm from New York. I should know, but I actually don't. Do you agree that he should maybe down the road look at like triple monitor stands, considering all those may be VESA compatible?
It's hard to tell. I looked at the close-up to see which panels they are. I know there are older Samsungs, but I know a lot of, or at least two of them are Samsung. I think the middle one might be a Dell. I know some of the older Samsungs did not have VESA mount on the back. If those are like 720p or cheap 1080p panels, they might not. Yeah. If that's the case, then it makes sense why he did that drawer. But again, we're just guessing here, right?
Yeah. Now, I agree. There is like a little bit of clash of color because he's got that really nice desk, which I think looks great. But then you see a lot of the white and then some of the black, and you're like, what is it that you are actually going for? But aside from the colors, I think in terms of out of sight, out of mind, I think it's done pretty well. I think he has everything in reach that he needs on a daily basis. And if it's not something he uses, it's, put away in one of the drawers. But so I mean, I don't know if there's really too much to say. I think for what you're working with, you definitely did the best you could. The final things I would say is just like nitpicking, like, maybe the coloring isn't the best. Maybe if you could rig a VESA mount for those, that would be great. It's clean.
I mean, even his monitors are white, or his studio monitors are white, and I mean, everything just looks really good. I'm with you on that, though. I felt like anything I had to say about that setup was nitpicking.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I think that's a mom dresser, and the reason why I say that is that Little J has the same one. Hers is in white, and I think that just changing that one dresser out to white would change the entire appearance. Yeah,
and I mean, it's just like you said, it has that European vibe, and it works. It looks nice, and it's just nitpicking from here on out. But all right, let's go to the next setup. This setup is submitted by Arnold. He's from Arnold. Yeah, I was gonna say he's from Germany. Go figure.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Let's see. He's a medical technician. He likes a lot of simulation games. He does some video editing time to time for weddings, and that's about it. So, with all that in mind, how old do you think he is?
Medical technician. 24.
24. He's 29. So yeah, he's in the 20s at least.
Damn, I'm way off par today.
So what do you think about the setup? What sticks out to you like the most?
Well, I can tell that he's in a limited space because he's got that vaulted ceiling. So it looks like he's in an attic space or some sort of conversion there. I'm not digging the peach wall. I think that would have been easy to paint white. But I think everything he's got going on here, the monitors mounted to the wall are on fleek. If he's got the cable sleeve there, right, or the sled or whatever you call that.
Yeah, the wire molding. Yeah.
At least paint it to match the wall if you still got that paint. If you don't, seriously. Paint the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot against that wall. That'd be an afternoon job. Push that stuff away, paint it, let it dry, put it back, and I think the entire vibe would change.
Yeah, and it's funny though because you look at the I believe it's the first photo, and you see he's got the black and white squares going on, and it doesn't make sense because why do you have the peach walls? You'd think that he would, if he took the time to do that, he'd take the time to paint the other wall.
When I was judging this, I was thinking to myself, maybe he lives at home or something and his parents won't let him, but he's 29, so there's no excuse. Maybe he's got a wife that won't let him, but still.
Man up. Just tell her what's going to be done. Yeah, I mean, for what he does, I think it's nice. It's simple. It's to the point. It does kind of feel empty, but that's perfect. The only thing that kind of throws me off is you are going for that minimalistic look, but then you have your racing wheel kind of sitting there. And I know it could be annoying to take them down and put it up and take it down.
The G37 sucks to tear it down and put it back up. And I dealt with that too. And that's why for the longest time I didn't use it because I just put it away and got tired of hooking it up.
Yeah.
So I can see why he did that. I'm not digging the pedals on top of the amp though. I'm wondering that receiver down there, is he using that as like some sort of a booster for the pedals or what's that?
I mean, that might be his new style. He might not be tall enough. He might need those.
I literally thought to myself, maybe this guy's really short. I just don't know.
Yeah, and if he is, then we apologize in advance for anything that may offend you.
But it looks like a good receiver, though. I mean, I'm surprised,
Yeah, I guess you get to the point in life where you just don't care. You're a medical technician. Things are, not a big deal. You just buy a new one if you have to. But yeah, I think I agree with basically everything you said. It is very, that sword on top, it's not a lot, but it is something cool, I guess. It's like, this is what I like. White. Yeah, it works. It just doesn't fit with the wool color. I think that's really the only thing that's bugging me in the setup because wire management for the most part is pretty good. Like you have one random wire that's sticking out. I hate seeing stuff like that because it's like you could literally take scotch tape if you wanted. Just tape it.
fairly certain his sub for that Logitech system is on the left, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't hook mine back up, was because that wire that you need to get to the sub is just always in the way. You just can't route it. It's never long enough, and you can't extend it because it's hardwired on both ends. It just kind of sucks.
Yeah, you know what I do like? I like how he has the headphones on the side of the desk. I love when people do that. It's so clean. It's out of sight, out of mind, and it works. So,
right.
Any final thoughts for him?
Why is his PC angled? That bugged me.
Okay, no joke. I think everyone's been doing that lately on the show, and it's
because they want to see
confusing.
the window.
Yeah, but does that? I guess it does have a window. I couldn't really see for a second. I don't know. I mean, it's on the floor, so it's not like, unless your feet have eyes, I don't really think it's beneficial.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of putting PCs on the floor anyway. He's got hardwood at least, or either hardwood or laminate. Either way, it's not carpet, so that's fine.
Yeah.
If you've got a side window, he's got no room to put it, so it makes sense that he put it there so we could see it rather than being blocked off by the side of the desk. I just think it looks out of place being angled like that to me.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's always confusing because I've been seeing that way too often. I'm like, am I missing a trend? Is this like a new thing? But I don't think I had anything to do with it. But Skunkworks was at a 45 on my desk for a long time, so that it was a backdrop for my videos. But it also made sense.
But it bugged me too, so that's why it's now like over here, like way off to the side. I can't even see it when I'm looking straight anymore. Which I was tempted to put it on the floor and put like a piece of nice wood underneath it, but then putting Skunkworks on the floor would have kind of been blasphemous too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. All right, so let's get to the next setup. Let's see here. Submitted by Mickey. Oh boy. Okay, no, I shouldn't have done that. All right, let's see. He mostly plays video games, and that's really all he said. He likes video games. So based on that, how old do you think he is?
16.
14. Close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know. So there's something about this setup that's just rubbing me the wrong way. Do you know what it is? Because I don't know if I can figure it out.
I think it's the textured walls.
Well, honestly, I didn't even realize until I zoomed in that it kind of looks like paper towels plastered on the wall.
It sort of does. It's kind of got that like brawny pattern going there. But then again, with his age, I think he's doing a pretty good job now that I know his age. I think when you do I know you like to ask how old we think they are, but I think it helps in the judging if we know personally, because he's obviously very limited on funds and probably what he's allowed to do with that space. Again, he's up in an attic, right? If that were my space, I would have ripped that stuff out of the wall so quick. You can even see just to the right of the monitor where it looks like they wallpapered over something stuck to the wall. You see how it's like bulged right there?
Yeah, nice bulge.
So I think that's what's kind of subconsciously messing with your head there. It's kind of like that padded cell in a crazy room effect.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's funny because like, you want to say, and I see people in chat are like, his wire management sucks. And you want to say that, but then you look at the floor and he actually took some time to run it along. And I give him props for that because I don't know many 14-year-olds that would care. I mean, granted, everything else is kind of a mess, but it's mainly because his power supply is just chilling on there on the side of the power strip. And that's easily fixable.
The desk also looks like it's seen better days considering the drawers are kind of like lopsided and stuff.
Yeah, I hope it's just the drawers are lopsided and not the actual desk is warping down the center.
I'm not kidding. And I think I know what you're talking about when you said something bothered you about this setup and you just couldn't put your finger on it. There's like a real psychological effect to things being slightly off square, but in a bunch of different directions. You look at the ceiling on the right, the monitors are not square with each other, the drawers aren't square. So there's a lot going on there that literally is just kind of messing with your subconscious. And that's how I felt about this setup.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Now that I look at it, there's a lot of different things that kind of like bug me. But granted, he's 14 and he's still making it work. I mean,
he's got a better setup than I did at 14.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he had a better setup than a lot of people at 14. And I mean, his speaker placement, again, that's not ideal. Your right ear is not really getting any love at all. But I think it has to do with that right display, the way you're setting yourself up. You are pushing yourself to the left side, but you're doing that so you could use the right display. So you kind of have to decide if it's worth having that right display, if anything, mounted above. But if you're comfortable, then it works, and that's good for you, and that's all that matters. But what is?
Maybe it's the adult in me, but I gave these types of setups like this where they kind of cram the desk full of accessories low usability scores because the adult in me like wants workspace to do things on the desk, whether it be bills or paperwork, whatever. Maybe most people don't have to deal with that, but if there's no room on the desk to put anything else down, like even a book, that gets a low usability score for me.
Yeah, especially like you think 14. I don't know about him, but yeah, you take homework to your desk because you're just Googling the answers anyway. So you might as well just have the desk space, you know?
We're just plagiarizing, you know?
Yeah, that's what I do, and no biggie. But yeah, I mean, I think overall it's nice. It's just you need to clean it up a little bit, get rid of some of the stuff, and you really need to make the decision about the right display because, you know, yeah, if you use it often enough, then that's fine, but you might not use it as much as you thought, and you could actually save a lot of desk space, but, you know. Maybe a new desk down the road, something like that. All right, let's go to the next setup. Next setup here is submitted by Christopher, and he's from Georgia. He's waiting to go into the Air Force. That's awesome. He's a big football fan, and yeah, he said this was all paid by a shitty minimum wage job. So the more you know. With all that in mind, how old do you think he is?
He's waiting to go into the Air Force. I want to say 18. 19.
So yeah, you're pretty much dead on with that one. So this is one of those setups where you feel bad because grandma's desk is beaten to death and it's just still being used, you know?
This is that case of like he said, minimum wage and hand-me-downs as best you can, you know?
Which he still made it work.
And I got that vibe immediately. This is clearly in a living space, not a dedicated space, so he's he's very limited on what he can do. The TV being crooked is really bothering me. That really bothered me that the TV's crooked. But it's, I mean, he could watch his football games while he's doing his streaming or whatever, right? It looks like he oh, that's not a mic, that's a speaker there. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of got this 2 foot by 4 foot space to work with, and I think he did a pretty good job at making it at least not look untidy or unsightly.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, I know everyone's saying like the desk, you could fix that, you could sand it, you could do this, you could do that. I mean, it seems like he's got his time pretty full. You know, he's working a minimum wage job, which means he's probably working a lot of hours, and he's getting ready to go in the Air Force.
That desk will make someone a ton of money someday on Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah, like this was actually, you know, King George II's desk back in the day. Just clean it up a little bit.
Lincoln wrote the Emancipation Proclamation at that desk.
Yes, that is the exact desk. But I agree with everything you said. Like the TV, that's the first. Well, actually, that would be the second thing. The desk, and then I think the TV. People will realize that, and that's not a hard fix unless your house is actually structurally messed up to where, for some reason, that is level, but it's not level.
In his defense, my old house, when my sister moved in and after we moved out, I was hanging some TVs for her, right? She, being the tech guy of the family, she's like, can you hang my TVs? Can you run my internet? And it's like, fine.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging the TV, and I use a level for everything. And I leveled it, and she goes, it looks crooked. I'm like, no, the ceiling is crooked. And she's like, really? And she started looking at it, and I put the level against the ceiling, and the bubble was all off canter. I'm like, this whole house, there's nothing square in this house anymore.
Oh, my God.
With it being a wood frame, you know, and built in the 60s and all the various earthquakes over the last 53 years, everything's just kind of shifted and settled to where nothing is square anymore.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
He very well could have hung that TV with a level and then went, well, you know, the windows on either side aren't square. So
yeah, something's wrong. Yeah. But for what it is, I mean, if I'm taking all that stuff out of the equation, I think it's nice. You're making it work. I mean, it's not... I look to the right and I look to the left and I think, man, your room is a little bit messy. You probably should just take some time and kind of clean it up. But we don't really have a full picture to see what the rest of the room is like. So
There's no excuse for that Georgia Tech banner though. It's all about Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm not even in the college, so you know. I'm just gonna stay on this one.
I only said Texas A&M simply because they're a rival for Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
I'm stirring the pot here.
Just being that guy. And the other thing I would say is he also said at the end of his email, he loves the show and I could be as harsh as I want. So I'm just going to say something harsh because he said I could. So
I think we're going to say the same thing.
Okay, well, you go first because I don't think we're going to say the same thing.
Okay, why the hell is a subwoofer in between his feet?
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. I mean, he might like it. It might be nice and warm when he's like blasting the bass.
It's like a transducer.
Yeah, you know, you might like that. And is that on a footrest? That's the main question.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Looks like a footrest, and it's got a sub in between there. Yeah, it's a foot massage. Maybe he's smarter than us. It's a foot massage.
Yeah.
Put on some like bass mechanic or something, and just play the frequencies that vibrate your feet.
He's on YouTube just watching the bass test. He's like, oh, I like this. Anyway, since he did say I could be harsh, I'm going to say, Christopher, You're a douche. Nah, take it back. See, you gave me the ability to say that. All right, here we go.
Gave you an inch and you took a mile.
Yeah, well, I do that a lot.
Meaner than I am.
Oh, yeah, I get the Simon Cowell setups rank, basically. All right, next setup here is submitted by Clayton. Now, I know right away everyone's like, what? But yeah, we'll get to that in a second. He's been working on it for about 2 years. His plans for the future is to get a new desk. Okay, that's good. He wants to know if he should keep the wool color the way it is or paint it. And yeah, that's about it. So with all that in mind, how old do you think he is?
Still has baseball trophy. I'm going to say he's 17.
17? Well, congratulations. He is 17.
Yes!
You at least got one this episode.
I got one.
Yeah.
We were getting closer as the show went on. So.
Yeah, you are almost getting them all on pinpoint. So the first thing I want to say is...
Say it.
It's just weird. How is that comfortable?
Why?
Your leg is like... I mean, your right leg looks like it's going to be comfortable. Even then, your crotch is kind of in that weird spot. It just doesn't work. And it's funny because I actually saw a submission the other day, same desk, but the guy had a piece of like wood that came off the back, and he was able to put the VESA mount on that.
Right.
And he still was able to use that corner portion of the desk because that's kind of the intention of that desk. You're supposed to sit there.
Here's a perfect example. The VESA arm that I'm using is not designed for the corner, but I'm using it in the corner because I just extended the arm out and articulated it in a way to where the monitor was centered. It's actually a dual monitor arm. I took one of the arms off and made it work. He could too,
Yeah.
I have to wonder if there is maybe a cable reach issue with something that we can't see off the left. It looks like there might be a power cord. No, that's just the base molding. I have no idea. The tower is right underneath them. Maybe he needs to get a longer cable so his PS4 can reach the monitor. Because once you go with an arm, you lose a lot of usable length of the cable.
Yeah.
Once you route it. I just got the vibe here he cared more about his trophy than his setup.
Yeah, it's kind of like he'll actually sit in the corner sometimes and just stare at the trophy. And he's like, I did that. That's all me. You know what would be good, though? If you're going to get a new desk eventually, I'm sure you're not going to sell this. I mean, you could. It looks like you actually kept it in great condition.
You know what the sad part is, though? Those are wireless accessories.
Yeah, nothing adds up here, if I'm being honest. It really doesn't. And
I'm sorry, just to finish my thought, not that wired accessories are bad, but because he can put them anywhere.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That wasn't an issue.
Yeah. And like you said, if it's the PS4 that's not reaching, if you're just talking HDMI, you can buy a 25-foot cord for like, what, $10?
Mono price, man.
Yeah, just get a new one if that's really the scenario here. But I think if anything, kind of do some demolition to that desk. Maybe make hack it to fit the VESA mount in the back corner. I mean, if you're going to get a new desk eventually anyway, you might as well hack away at this one a little,
It's got that board that goes behind there, which serves two purposes. One, it's just particle board. He could easily cut it out, like you said, a portion so that he can get his tightening knot or knob to mount on there.
Yeah.
The other thing is that board is perfect for cable management too. So you can use, you can go to Home Depot and get yourself some cable management straps, screw those to the back of the board, and then you've got like built-in routing.
Yeah, and it's all hidden.
Desks that don't have even that few inches of board that stick down like that make it super tough, but at least he's got the benefit of that.
Yeah, you could put like a power supply on the back of that, power strip.
Right.
It works to his advantage. Plus you have those drawers. I don't know what you're using them for, but you could technically also use that to your advantage because on the back, I know it could be open back too to where you don't even have to worry about punching a hole through. But yeah, I think that it's just super simple. For theme, we're not really seeing anything other than the fact that he has a baseball trophy. Kind of show your passion a little bit more, make it yours.
Yeah.
If you do want it to be that simple, then by all means go for it. But personally, I would like to see a little bit more of you. I don't know if you agree with that.
I do. I agree. And again, just to talk about the complication of mounting that monitor arm there, Monoprice does sell really inexpensive monitor arms that are also screw down. So you drill holes through the desk, the bolts pass through, and then it's got washers on the back that hold it nice and secure. And if you were worried about that wood not being able to hold it, well, you're clamped to the same piece of wood over there as you would be on the other side. So it would be just as sturdy. So I would recommend that.
Yeah, I agree.
If he's 17, I'm not kidding, man. You can get some of these arms for like $30 at Monoprice. The one I'm using is from Roseville, which isn't like another knockoff brand. I'm not going to pay $150, $200 for an expensive articulating arm. So there's options out there for people watching to get inexpensive arms that aren't going to be clamp style.
I agree. Yeah, that's what's fun about this setup though. There's a lot ahead of you, and you can have fun with the whole process. So definitely have fun with that. So all right, let's go to the next setup here. This one a lot of people might recognize. It was on a setup spotlight that I did a month or two ago. Submitted by Teseo. He's from Switzerland. He said, your show inspired my whole setup, and I'd be very glad if I could appear in an episode. Well, bam. He loves superheroes. Yeah, he's very happy right now. Let's see.
He's got a nice mic setup, so he does some sort of presentation.
Yes. So I'm trying to see if there's anything that'll give away his age, but I'm not seeing anything. So just based on the picture, how old do you think he is?
Well, there's some money in here. He's got the funds to do collectibles. He's got a nice TV. I'm going to say 22.
He's 17, which is
what?
Yeah.
I want to move to Switzerland.
I was going to say, yeah, it has to do with his location.
Well, actually, in Switzerland they make a ton of money, but then again, a hamburger is like $45. So
that's their own problem.
Yeah.
So 17, he's got this, when I say personality, this is it. Like, this is over the top. I mean, it is a lot easier when you're into something like superheroes, because it's just an endless supply of things to kind of pimp out your personality. And I love those deco lights on the wall, and I love really just everything comes together. And I mean, the wire management's great, and it's just got that nice vibe with the LEDs. And
there's still a lot of IKEA in here, which is, I love IKEA. People have asked me, Jay, why is everything you do have IKEA? It's because, dude, cheap. There's options and it's not expensive.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. So what do you think about this?
Screw them for ever discontinuing the Galant.
Yeah, that actually, I remember when that happened, there was like a huge outrage on the internet.
The Beckett was such a terrible predecessor.
Yeah, that's why I like I like Paul's Hardware's idea of the kitchen countertops. I definitely want to do that in my next setup.
I cheaped out on the tops versus him. He got the real wood ones, and I went with more like the laminate ones, and mine bow. So I'm probably going to change them.
Oh, really? Okay, that's actually good to know.
Keep that in mind, guys. If you go with like the $50 top versus the $99 top, they probably are going to bow. Yeah.
Well, now people know.
It's a high density fiber board that's laminated to look like wood, but it's strong but flexible. That's the problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you think of this? Because I mean, there's a lot going on, but it's also so simple.
Yeah, he did a really good job of putting all of his favorite stuff there, but it's not like in your face. I mean, I love the corner shot where you can see the whole room. Clearly, lighting is important to him. I love the fact that he's got mixed colors. Again, he's got red behind the TV and what looks like possibly a teal behind the desk. He's got white by his bed. I'm digging the iPhone sheets, by the way. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, he clearly has his theme going. He's a huge Marvel buff, it looks like. He's got his media PC too. He's got his wireless stuff. I had very, very little that I could say about this. I mean, if I had to find something to nitpick, it would be I wish the closet matched the rest of the furniture in terms of color. But I also know by seeing those closets in person that those aren't that cheap. They're probably $300-400 just for that closet.
And then he has the dresser though in the corner, which kind of matches the closet.
Yeah, it does.
So it's almost like
and the shelves.
Yeah, like he had that first, and then he did the setup. I like how he has the couch though, and he's got the keyboard with the mouse and all that stuff. And by the way, quick mention. My dog somehow got outside and he has now entered the studio. So yeah, he's a little excited, but yeah, we took off his collar, so he'll probably shut up now. But yeah, I like that entertainment center because he can relax. He has the wireless peripherals and he could really utilize the TV because I know some people, they're not a fan of the TV above. They think that maybe the angle's not good enough. They think that it might hurt their neck. I mean, granted, I think in this setup, it actually works for him, but it also works for that far viewing angle, which is great.
He's also got a huge articulating arm on that monitor. You see that? He can swing that thing out really far and kind of turn it any way he wants. Yeah,
this whole setup. I think, I don't see a lot of people that have that mic stand on their desk and it works. That works and it's very nice and the lights on the side, those are also unique. I don't see a lot of people do that.
I'm really digging that lamp in the center.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's everything about it is just super super nice, and it kind of gives off that feel where. You can get work done with all the lights on, but then later on you could just chill and kind of like relax, So I like it. Do you have any final thoughts for him?
I really don't. I mean, his setup, it's mature is what I want to say. I mean, granted, it's Marvel. Some people might be like, comic books, that's a kid stuff, but everything about it just works. The colors work. I mean, he's got a lot of red and blue going, which always is a nice theme. I like that he even has a blackout shade for the window because obviously he likes it dark in there. Yeah, I really like this setup.
It works very, very well. So let's go to the final setup of the day, submitted by Haydn. Haydn is a guy from Illinois. I like how he has to specify he's a guy, just in case I thought he was a girl. So trust me, I have 4% females watching this. This is not going to be a daily occurrence where I have to worry about if you're a girl or not. He said, no, I didn't pay for the setup. That's probably one of the first people that's ever said that. Normally you get the 12-year-olds like, I paid for everything, man. I have 7 jobs. I'm a graphics designer.
He owned it. He's like, someone paid for it, and you would let them too.
Yeah, well, this is funny. He literally said, my dad paid for half of my PC. My girlfriend bought me the speakers, the headphones, and then he said, get at me. So I like it. He's really owning it, like you said. So let's see. The only spot for his desk in his room. He also has some acoustic foam, but he doesn't know where he should put it. And that's it. So with that in mind, how old do you think he is?
Well, his dad and his girlfriend, 16.
18. So yeah, right around that age. Yeah, this is really nice, and it's clean. It's to the point.
Looks like a custom-made desk too, by the way. Looks like you got some IKEA legs and screwed them onto a nice piece of what appears to be stained and polished like plywood. Yeah, and it looks great. I really like it. Trying to think like right off the bat something that sticks out that I don't like. I mean, I don't like that I know why this is happening. But I don't like that the left picture is overlapping the switch plate. Yeah. But then again, he has to push them much closer together. Otherwise, he's going to hit the ceiling on the right. Yeah, he would be the kind of guy that completely defeats the purpose of having 3 separate canvases. He just puts them together. He's like, I'm curious, was this like the attic edition? You know, it's funny. They all kind of worked in that way. It's very interesting. And I always can't speak English. I always tell people these are not put in a specific category. It's not like these are all going to be ultra wides. They're all going to be triple monitors or something. Like these are just in the order I get them. So I love when it does play out to a theme. Right. And I mean, this is a nice one too. I give him a low score on out of sight, out of mind though, because I feel like everything's in sight. I mean, it looks like he must do something with either photography or recording. Because I see Manfrotto stuff, right? He's got his guitars there, so maybe he records his own music. He's got some what looks like nice studio monitors. He said his girlfriend bought those, right? Yeah, nice girlfriend. Yeah, really. He's got the same headphones I'm wearing right now. It looks like a MX50s, right? Yeah, he's got 2 headphones, left and right. Yeah, which is interesting. I mean, the left ones look like open back. And then the right ones, they're the Audio Technica M50Xs, which I'm wearing now. Yeah, and they're on nice stands too. I know. I need to get a stand. Yeah. See, if I submitted my setup right now to your show, I would get ripped. Well, that's good. I mean, one thing I always give you though is like your cable management is always like 10 out of 10. Like you put a lot of time into that. That's the other thing. IKEA got rid of these trays too. Yeah. It's now they just have the cheap signals. With you guys? Yeah, those were really nice. They were $15 for the long ones. For the 5-foot ones were $15. Wasn't that an add-on to the Gallant? That's like it was a part of the Gallant system. Wow, they just really dropped the ball there. I don't understand why. Yeah, why they did that. It's funny when I showed under the desk, everyone freaked out like, oh my God, Matt needs to see that. And I'm like, I'm sure he knows about them, but they're just not available anymore. Yeah, I mean they do have alternatives, but they're not the $15 price tag you're talking about. They're a lot more. They're a lot more, and they just aren't as clean as these, I don't think, because these, I actually have mine mounted backwards, where normally the opening is supposed to be facing towards you. Yeah. But I have them flipped backwards. That way I can just shove the power supplies and stuff in there, the power strips, and you can't see it. Not to mention it has all these holes in there. That way you can make them, easy tie downs. And I just screwed them underneath the desk and called it a day. Yeah. Every time I go to IKEA now, I make it a point to tell them that their corporate made a huge mistake. I literally had a video telling IKEA, because I mean this show is basically an advertisement for IKEA at the end of the day. No matter how you look at it, it really is. And it used to be the check is in the mail. Yeah, I mean I wish. The only thing they've ever done for me is give me a $25 gift card, and they said thanks for talking about Signums, and I was like, yay! Wow. I can buy 2 Signums. So it didn't. Yeah, I mean IKEA, you guys make some great stuff, but
you need to kind of open your eyes and see who's helping you out here. But anyways, this setup, like the chair, I think is unique. I think it's not something that we see all the time. It's not your DX Racer. It's not your GT Omega. It's not even one of those Herman. What are they? Herman.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of it. Is it?
I love the fact that it's a high back mesh, which you don't see too often.
Yeah. It looks comfortable. I would like to sit in that. I don't know how it would feel, but I'm sure it would feel pretty good. And I do like the color of the walls, and I say the colored. Wow, colors of the wall. And so the next thing I want to talk about.
You're like speaking an iPhone type autocorrect.
Yeah, basically. Everything I say is messed up. Instead of yes, it's like yeah. Like how they always like ruin normal words. Yeah.
Well, if you try and type us, it makes it US, like U.S. Like you notice that?
It's actually really bad if you type swashin and your phone isn't used to it. It does say something that is not safe for this. Anyways, so what do you think about of the acoustic paneling and stuff like that? Where do you think he should put that? Because I don't think he really has. I mean, maybe on that arch on the ceiling, maybe.
The problem is there's a lot of videos out there for proper acoustic treatment. You want it to be where there's reflection of sound. So you would want it to kind of be immediately behind where he's speaking. So like me, it would be this corner wall right behind me. The sad part is big monitors kind of mess that up a little bit. So for him, he would probably want to put, unfortunately, where his pictures are, he would probably want to put 3 panels there. Maybe a couple to the right on that vault or that angled ceiling, and then a couple behind him. A lot of people think they have to like panel a wall with them to get the effect.
That's not how it works.
No, it doesn't work that way. It's just about breaking up the reflection of the audio. So yeah, I mean, he could also too with the right size acoustic squares and the right shape, he could move those paintings all together and make the acoustic treatment part of the decor. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, you know what, it might actually play to his advantage because, like you said, it's overlapping, and it's the whole point of it is kind of have that separation. So if you can't even accomplish it there, it's better off that you don't, because then it kind of looks a little. Not like messy, but just not ideal. So if you can actually replace that and put those elsewhere, it would play to your advantage. It would make it look a lot nicer. And I think the setup is great, though. I give you props on cable management. I give you props on just making it yours.
He's got a Signum, obviously.
Yes, he does. And I actually didn't include one picture. He actually routed some holes through the desk because obviously, it's not your typical desk. He made some modifications. So he did route some cables through it, and I like that. Normally I include those. I don't know why I didn't, but very nice. So any final thoughts for him?
Not really. I mean, everything just looks like it goes together really well for the limited space that he has. I don't know what's in the rest of the room, so I don't know if it doubles as a living space too, but I think it works really well for him.
Agreed. All right, well, now let's do the last part of the show where we go over the scores. First setup submitted by Simon. He got a 92 and first place. Arnold got an 83. Mickey got a 59. Christopher got a 58. Clayton, 62. Teseo, 91, aka second place, and Haydn, an 86. So I think those are fair. Now, do you want to back me up that the categories do help with getting a fair score?
They do, because sometimes wire management, out of sight, out of mind go together pretty well, but usability and theme is another thing. I do think that these 5 categories, the only thing I had a hard time with was the concept of out of sight, out of mind, personally, when I was scoring, only because we don't know exactly what their daily workflow is like in these setups. So we don't know how much they need in front of them at all times. I just want to say, though, I had a really hard time deciding between Simon and Teseo, and I'm surprised they were within 1 point of each other. I like both of their setups equally, but I liked the more simple aspect that Simon took, because I don't like a lot of figurines and stuff out personally for me. So I liked his more simple kind of a retreat that he built in there with it. He's got his surround sound, nice setup speakers. He's got his his consoles and stuff there. He even went as far, if you bring up Simon's picture again real quick, not the one where he's in front of his setup, the one where you can see his TV. When I was first looking at this setup, I thought to myself, that left monitor cable, what the heck? Why is it hanging out like that? But then I realized he routed the cables in a way that when he's sitting in front of the desk, they don't show. So if you look at that, he's got them at an angle so that when you're far back, you can see that they're going off to the left a little bit, but when he's sitting at the desk, the cables are not bothering him. So little things like that is what pushed him ahead for me.
Yeah, it's nice because, you know, he did it for when he's sitting there. He's not seeing the cables. Yeah, you know what? Guess what? From any setup, if you go far back and you look at a certain angle, you're going to see cables. You're going to see underneath. Even if you have the Signum, you're going to see that underneath part where all the cables are chilling. And I mean, unless you have a custom desk that has everything, you know, built behind, you're going to see it. And I think that it's good that he definitely played that to his advantage. And may I add that on Simon, we both did 46 out of 50. So, I mean, we're both like on the nose with that one. And
what's funny is our scores they weren't identical either. Like you gave him a point higher in out of mind than I did, and I gave him a point higher in accessories than you did. Yeah,
and we still ended up with the same score. And then Teseo, I gave him a 48 out of 50, whereas you gave him a 43 out of 50. So it's just interesting, and that's why I like having a lot of different people on the show. I mean, of course, you're not just the setup, because you do setup stuff, but you also, you're mainly like the PC guy. So it's always good to get your point of view, and I get the comments all the time, like, get Jay back on.
My personal methodology when I come to building the areas I work in is usability is number one. Then wire management, and then like a theme and out of sight, out of mind. Like, I mean, I would love to just theme everything, but I'm like, you know, in our unique situation, you know, our backdrops and stuff are always changing. Yeah. So I can't be too committed to like a hardwired design, you know, which kind of sucks because before YouTube, I had a really clean, really basic setup that was very, very modern minimalist. And then unfortunately, as the business grew, so did the amount of stuff, and it got a lot harder to make things super simple.
Yeah, like you said, especially when you have to keep shooting videos and your whole, not even just your backdrop, but where you're shooting. You know, you need that open space, so it's constantly changing. And,
like you can see behind me right now. I mean, there's a softbox just chilling right here because that's kind of where it has to be right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be put away in a closet because you use it often enough to where that's a good spot. So overall, I'm very happy with the setups for this episode. I'm happy with the scores. I'm happy with the feedback. I think it was a great episode. And of course, Jay, I'm very happy that you came back on. I appreciate it. And,
thanks for inviting me.
And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this episode of Pimp My Setup, episode number 81, recorded live on March 10th, 2016. My name is Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly.
Is this my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Jayztwocents, Jayz. Not the rapper, but
sadly,
if you like rap, feel free to come my way anyway. I get a lot of followers that way.
I'm sure.
Every day someone's trying to convince me that I'm Jay-Z, but
especially because you're verified on Twitter, so it kind of confuses people.
That check mark was a curse, I tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube. And I've got a new channel coming out soon. You guys can find out about that coming up.
So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hype Train Choo Choo in the chat. Don't actually write Choo Choo. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. See you later.
Write it. See ya.